welcome to LSB Feasters Radio Channel and Travel Corner, where we keep great radio from the past alive, and today it's legendary WLS Chicago. What a great radio station this was. People in the Midwest loved it. And WLS had so many legendary personalities that worked there over the years. John Records Landecker, Fred Winston, Tommy Edwards, Jeff Davis, and many, many others. But for many WLS fans, there was only one Jock that had his name above all the others, and that was the Super Jock, Uncle Lair, yes, the one and only Larry Lujack. Larry Lujack was actually on the air in Seattle, and in 1967, he left KJR Seattle and took over the evening shift at WCFL Chicago, beginning a relationship with the Midwest that would last for decades. Larry was crusty, he was cantankerous, he was ornery, and Chicago loved it. Lujack's actually said to have influenced many current-day radio personalities like Rush Limbaugh and Howard Stern. For several years, Larry bounced back and forth between WCFL and WLS. But it was in 1976 when he made WLS his home, and he spent many years waking Chicago until 1987 when he moved to New Mexico. Larry was inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame in 2004, and around 2000 he actually returned to radio in Chicago for a while at WRLL playing oldies. He was one of a kind, and if you've never heard him, here's your opportunity. If you like what you hear, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel too if you like, and after you do, smack that bell, and you will be notified whenever we post anything new. All right, let's go back to the 1970s with Super Jock Larry Lujack on 89 WLS Chicago.
From the big 89, the Larry Lujack Morning Show.
WLS Chicago.
7:03 in the Windy City in WLS with the clunk letter of the day coming up in about 10 minutes. My curb congregation at WLS is burning bridges. Burning bridges, 7:06, Larry Lujack, WLS. It's spring, which means it's clean up, paint up, fix up time again. And as we all know, these things cost money. So if you're wondering where the money may come from this spring, then now's the time to think in terms of an American loan. American Finance lends money to do the things that need doing to your home, your lawn, and your garden, and your car, and your boat, and you name it. American people like to lend money for any good reason. That's the reason they're in business, and they feel the reason you want money is your business, and where you get that money is their business. So this spring, decide how much you'll need, and then put in a request early for your American loan. Remember, whenever borrowing makes sense.
Come to America, we can work it out together.
Now, there are 33 offices of American Finance in the Chicago area. Give them a call, or better yet, stop in, because you can work it out together at American Finance.
Here's a way to feel refreshed anytime, any place.
Refresh your taste. Chew Wrigley Spearmint Gum. Refresh your taste. For flavor, it's the one. The flavor's fresh and lively too. It cools your mouth, it's great to chew. Refresh your taste. Chew Wrigley Spearmint Gum.
Yes, there's a lot of fresh, lively flavor packed into Wrigley Spearmint Gum. Chew a stick and see how it cools and freshens your taste. Wrigley Spearmint, you'll like it.
Delicious and long-lasting too. Enjoy it daily, millions do. Refresh your taste. Chew Wrigley Spearmint Gum.
8 minutes past 7. Traffic this morning. Outbound Kennedy is not doing so well at the moment. They've got a stall at Wilson Avenue, and it's running slow from Addison to Wilson. That's on the outbound Kennedy. Inbound Ryan, local lanes at 51st have an accident, making it a real downer from 63rd to 51st on the Ryan.
WLS.
them I said. Neil Diamond and Larry Lujack, 7-11 at WLS.
If you think car prices are confusing, listen to this.
A 1971 Ford Maverick can be yours for $71 down and $71.08 a month for 36 months. Payment plan is based on manufacturer's suggested retail price on a total deferred payment of $2,559 on approved credit. The annual percentage rate is 11.08%. State and local taxes, dealer preparation charges, if any, are extra. The aforementioned price does not include running boards, rumble seats, or a partridge in a pear tree.
Okay, guys, you've just heard the legal terminology you'd take a good look at anyway, spelled out in 20 seconds. But what does it all mean? It means that right now an honest guy can walk right up to his Ford dealer, hand him $71 down and a few bucks for sales tax and preparation charges, if any, and drive away in a spankin' new two-door Maverick, the most successful small car ever introduced in this country. $71 down, $71.08 a month, and your 71 will be that much brighter. So come on in with the 71 clams. Nobody's got what your Ford dealer's got.
It's 12 minutes past 7 at WLS Sports. People who won lots of money in various sporting endeavors over the weekend. Frank Beard got $25,000 for winning the Greater New Orleans Open. Buddy Baker got $16,000, first prize in the Rebel 400 stock car thing at Darlington, South Carolina. Milwaukee Bucks split up all their money for winning the NBA championship. It amounts to $17,000 per man. The losing Baltimore Bullets get $11,000 each. And I lost quite a bit on the Kentucky Derby.
Windy City weather.
That's what happens when you bet on Jim French and put it on the nose. Didn't work. It's cold this morning. Yes, it is. A record low for this date. As a matter of fact, got down below freezing last night. If you haven't gone out to check your car in the driveway, you're going to need your windshield scraper this morning, unless you're going to rough it with your fingernails. So if you put your windshield scraper away somewhere, it's too bad for you. Sunny and warmer today. It's getting better. High today is going to be 58, up to 68 tomorrow. Officially at Midway, it's now 35. It got down to 32 overnight. O'Hare's got 35. Winds are out of the northwest at 7. And here on the Chicago Loop, with a clear blue sky and bright sunshine, 40 degrees along the lakefront at WLS, with a reminder that a memorial fund has been established to encourage the continuation of girls' track teams in Chicago. And your help is desperately needed. Write to the Women's Track and Field Fund, Box 6415, Chicago, Illinois.
Larry Lujack, WLS.
14 minutes past 7. This is Barbara Streisand at WLS, and hands off the flim-flam, flam freak, whatever.
Hands off the man
Hands off to flim-flam man. Barbara Streisand, 716 WLS. Larry Lujack, clunk letter of the day with this cheap homemade fanfare, preceding it by the WLS Rock and Roll Psychedelic Marching Band and Choir. Letter is from Dick, who resides in Watseka, Illinois, who writes, Dear Lair, comma, I write you for advice and counseling. I have a problem. Every morning after listening to your clunk letter, I sit down to eat my Raisin Bran for breakfast. On the Raisin Bran package, it was advertised that there was a toy ball inside. However, after many mornings of eating Raisin Bran, there was no more cereal and, are you ready for this, Lair? No toy ball. Larry, what can I do? I have almost gone berserk trying to figure out what happened to the little toy ball. Do you suppose that the cereal company might have defrauded me of my little toy ball? Do you think that I should sue the company for false advertising? Sincerely, Dick. Well, Dick, let's not be too hasty here. Let's not be too quick in jumping to conclusions and making rash, unfounded, slanderous allegations against the Raisin Bran Company. Have you considered this? Perhaps somebody else in your family, when you were not around, stuck their hand in the Raisin Bran box and groped around through the flakes and took the ball. That's cheating, but in a lot of families, there's an individual who will do things like this. Or listen, Dick, perhaps you ate the ball, thinking it was just a big raisin. Perhaps you should go in for x-rays. It could be lodged in your body there. So maybe somebody else in your family ate the ball. Maybe you'd better all go in for x-rays and have your stomachs pumped too while you're at it.
Jock, WLS.
That's Rascals at WLS and Groovin'. Larry Lujack in the morning at 7:21. I would like to take a moment from my busy broadcast day here at the Big 89 to extend a big 50,000-watt hi there to all my new friends in Antioch, where I was Saturday night. No, it was Friday night. I don't really remember what night it was, actually, because I stayed after the gig. It was an opening of a store, Walsh's up there. Stayed after the gig and did something I should not have done. Went out with the people from the store, the nice people, and consumed excessive amounts of adult beverage in some Antioch honky-tonk. And I certainly hope nobody in management at this station heard my show the next morning. I was not really proud of it. But I met some wonderful people in Antioch. There are some real weirdies up there. Hi, Bucky and Ralph. Bucky was kind of strange, and Ralph was too. Bucky introduced Ralph to me. He said Ralph was the mayor of Antioch, and I, being a newcomer to the city, I'd never been there, I didn't know. Ralph was wearing a faded Levi jacket, and he had a beard. There were really some nice people up in Antioch.
It's beneficial. You're good for more and beneficial. You're good for more and beneficial. Where the money is,
We want to lend you the full amount you have in mind. Full amount that you have in mind.
Why settle for less cash than you really want? Come to where you're good for more. Beneficial Finance.
no matter where you may be borrowing or had a loan before.
Call Beneficial, see Beneficial. Come to where you're good for more.
It's beneficial. You're good for more and beneficial. You're good for more and beneficial. You're good
Keep singing, keep singing. Yes, friends, at Beneficial, you're good for more. And here in the Chicagoland area, 44 Beneficial Finance and Commonwealth-owned offices of the Beneficial Finance system are within the sound of this 50,000-watt powerhouse radio station. See the white pages of your phone book under Commonwealth Finance or Beneficial Finance. It's 23 minutes past 7. Traffic. The exit ramp of the inbound Ryan at 55th has an accident. Use another exit ramp for the next 15 or 20 minutes off the Ryan. Outbound Kennedy is still a drag from Belmont just about all the way to Harlem. There was a stall at Wilson. Now there's an accident at Lawrence on the outbound. Inbound is also running heavy from Nagel most of the way downtown. The Edens is still good to Lawrence. Express lanes are lively to North Avenue. The following questions will be answered on Lyle Dean News after the next song. How many thousand bodies have they arrested in Washington this morning? What does a Newsweek poll say about J. Edgar Hoover? What does President Nixon say about marijuana? And what happened to that dog down in Carbondale? Yes, friends, if you want the answers to these and other questions, you tune in the news right after this next song here.
WLS.
This is by Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds. From WLS. From Chicago, the Lyle Dean Report.
Anti-war protesters have been active in Washington this morning, but police and federal troops have been at least as active, if not more so. UPI reports that about 2,000 arrests have been made this morning, and there are scattered skirmishes between the demonstrators and police. Newsman Roger Peterson at the Pentagon talks about 15 young men, some of them anti-war veterans.
Who deposited some chicken manure on the steps of the Pentagon. They said the war was chicken, and they were expressing their disgust at the war. One man, the leader of it, Al Hubbard, said that he would come back and personally scrub the Pentagon steps on his hands and knees when the war was over. All were arrested and carried off by police. Now to Joe Templeton.
They just used a bit of tear gas here on the Washington side of the 14th Street Bridge. About 50 demonstrators tried to stop traffic here, and it just didn't happen. Police quickly rushed in, pushed them over to the side. Now many of the young people have handkerchiefs around their eyes and noses. A big police van has just pulled up. It holds about 90 people. They're being herded inside.
Repeating, there are reports that about 2,000 demonstrators have been arrested in Washington so far this morning. On Friday, we told you about plans of anti-war demonstrators in Carbondale to napalm a dog on Sunday. But Paul Gibson of the Carbondale Humane Society says he was the only one who showed up.
There was no one at all on campus yesterday. Nothing happened. It was very quiet. No one around.
So as far as we can tell, no dog was napalmed by anti-war protesters at SIU. Mrs. Linda Werner answered her door last night in Elmwood Park. Confronting her was a man enraged because of a car that was reportedly blocking traffic. The man reportedly asked her if it was her car, then shot her. She died later in a hospital. Mrs. Werner was 32, the mother of 4 children, and the former wife of a Chicago policeman. Vandals ransacked the Carl von Linn School at 3200 North Sacramento last night, splattering paint through most of the classrooms and destroying school records. Police in Rogers, Arkansas, say they may have the man who logged a lot of flying hours this weekend in a plane stolen from Pawnee Center, Kansas, landed at several spots in Illinois, including Fairfield, where the man robbed the airport manager of $30 and a tank of gas. James Cotton of Los Angeles has been ordered back to Chicago from Hong Kong on charges of sending American women to Vietnam as prostitutes. The girls claim they were tricked into going to Vietnam. State's Attorney Hanrahan is expected to testify again before a special Panther grand jury today. Petitions to dismiss the grand jury have been postponed by presiding Judge Joseph Power until May 10th. Moscow's man in Cairo, Egyptian Vice President Sabri, has been fired by President Sadat. You made it safely back from your weekend, but 9 teenagers in Covington, Georgia did not. All 9 were killed last night when their car was hit by a freight train. A Gallup poll in Newsweek magazine shows 51% of those interviewed think J. Edgar Hoover should retire as head of the FBI, but of the same group, 80% give the FBI a favorable rating. President Nixon made his feelings about marijuana perfectly clear yesterday. Even if a presidential commission studying marijuana suggests legalizing it, the president says he won't follow that suggestion. On the WLS Sports Line, the weekend was a good one for all Chicago teams. The Blackhawks beat the Rangers 4-2 to win the playoff series and a chance to beat Montreal Tuesday. The Cubs and Sox both won their weekend games. The Cubs play tonight in New York. The Sox have the day off. Speaking of winners, WLS Chicagoland weather gets up to 58 today, sunshine, 68, and sunshine tomorrow. The official Chicago temperature is 35 degrees at Midway after an early morning low, a record low for the state of 32. The lakefront temperature is now 40. From the WLS News Bureau, this is Lyle D. WLS Chicago.
Right Sings, that's a great song. A Fifth Dimension at WLS and Larry Lujack in the morning at 7:33. With most of us, quality is the big factor when we are selecting drugs for ourselves and our families. And HLH Medical Center drugs, with a tradition of high quality, provide the best in medical care. HLH Medical Center is a non-prescription drug line, but HLH chemists devote as much care to the preparation of drugs as does your carefully chosen pharmacist when he fills a prescription. And that's why a steadily increasing number of families are very wisely relying on HLH Medical Center drugs to fill family needs for top quality drug products. They believe not only in quality, but also in safety. And these days, a great deal is being heard about drug hallucination and drug addiction. HLH Medical Center products are non-hallucinating and free of any properties that damage the mind and the body. They're the kind of drugs you want and need in your family medicine cabinet. HLH Medical Center helps keep your family fit and healthy. Right to the HLH Medical Center, 1401 Elm in Dallas, Texas. Zip is 75202 for more information.
Buick Bargain Days are here. Your chance for quality at a bargain. Because we're offering the same great Buick quality we've sold all year, but the values have never been better. Your Buick Opel dealer has a wide selection of models in stock right now, which means faster delivery to you at better than ever values. See your Buick Opel dealer now. And be sure to fasten your seatbelts. Buick bargain days are too good to miss.
It's 25 minutes before 8. Today is Monday, April 3rd, and a couple of reminders of a public service nature here. Don't forget Mother's Day is this Sunday. I am toying with the idea of getting my mom some hot pants for Mother's Day this year. I think she might look pretty good in them if she'd lose about 50 pounds. Also, there are only 12 more shopping days until Mayor Daley's birthday on May 15th. The mayor hits the big 69 this year. Maybe he'd like some hot pants. Well, they have men's hot pants now, too. It's 24 minutes before 8. Another amazing secret adventure of the Tooth Fairy in about 10 minutes, folks.
Don't look so sad.
For the Good Times by Ray Price with Larry Lujack at 7:39 from WLS. If your car bounces with every bump and nosedives at every stop, see Sears now for new heavy-duty shock absorbers and save some money. Sears top heavy-duty shocks built to last the life of your car, and sale price now at just $5.88 each, which is more than $2 off. So get more driving comfort, better mileage, and above all, greater safety with new heavy-duty shocks from Sears. And now is the time to save. Regular $7.99 shocks now on sale at just $5.88 each for a limited time only at Sears.
Introducing the expensive steak knife that isn't. It's a stainless steel Royalton steak knife with hollow ground blade that's made to stay sharp and a solid rosewood handle that's double riveted to last longer. Expensively made, you bet. But at participating Enco stations, the expense ends right there, because now you can get one of these handsome knives free with a fill-up, 8-gallon minimum. Start your collection today. Just look for the steak knife sign at participating Enco stations.
Inbound South Outer Drive at 61st, there are two motorists standing near the cars on the shoulder of the road. They are not hunting for shells on the shore or anything. They are glaring at each other and wondering where the other guy earned his driver's license, if he has one. Translated, that means there's an accident on the inbound South Outer Drive at 61st Street. Also, a reminder, if you still have studded tires on your car, you are in violation of the law because last Saturday, May 1st, was the Illinois-Indiana deadline for removal of studded tires. So if you still have them on your car and you are driving, you are in violation of the law, and you should drive to the police station and turn yourself in.
Windy City weather.
What a stiff weekend. My golf game yesterday got snowed out. No way do I play when the snow is falling. But today it's going to be a lot better, and tomorrow is really boss, using a trite disc jockey adjective. Sunny and warmer today with a high of 58, up to 68 tomorrow. A record low overnight. It got down to freezing at Midway. Right now it's 35 degrees officially at Midway. O'Hare's 35. Winds are northwest at 7. And in the Chicago Loop with sunshine, it's 40 degrees at WLS and the Tooth Fairy after the next song.
It's a windy city morning.
A Larry Lujack day. WLS.
Stop the music. Okay, listen, this next song is so great that I have to urge all of you to turn up the volume just a little bit. Now you'll think, oh, he's going to fool us. We'll turn up the volume and then he'll play some loud screaming thing that will blow our heads off. No. This is a very soft record, but it is so great that you can't really fully appreciate it unless you turn up the volume. You have 2 seconds to turn up the volume. 1, 2, okay. Ooh, I love this. Love, that's beer drinking music. That chick's name is Olivia Newton-John, and the song is If Not For You, and I certainly hope you like that, because if you don't, that's too bad, because I like it, and I'm in command at the controls here, and I'll be playing that one about 10 times per morning for the next month. It's 15 minutes before 8.
Yeah? Hello there. I'm the Tooth Fairy, and I doth come from...
This is another secret adventure of the Tooth Fairy.
Friday, 12:17 p.m. While on a lunch break, I check in with Nurse Durkin, Dr. Armadillo's lovely nurse receptionist, and my official Tooth Fairy message center.
Fairy phone.
Nurse Durkin, this is the Molar Marauder. I'm calling from my secret cave of tooth. You're surprised, aren't you? Hello?
I'm here.
Couldn't hear you breathing.
I wish I could say that.
Aren't you interested in knowing where my cave of tooth is located?
Slightly, but it's a very elusive slightly.
Nurse Durkin.
Could go any second.
Let me tell you
there
where
it goes.
What?
Whenever it goes, I goes. Fairy phone.
Nurse Durkin?
Yeah.
I just can't come to grips with one reason for your total lack of interest in my cave of tooth.
Well, try gripping this one. Your cave of tooth is registering a -0 on my scale, so what, who cares?
Nurse Durkin.
And when that happens, I don't care where, what, or why, nothing, no how.
Nurse Durkin, may I say it might interest you to know there was another reason for my call this morning?
May I say get to it before my interest goes again?
I would like to run through the TFEBS with you.
The what?
The Tooth Fairy Emergency Broadcast System.
I think it's going again.
Here's how it works. In the event of an emergency, such as an enemy attack, I will go to my secret cave of tooth. Once there, I will call you via the tooth line and declare an FAA.
A what?
That's a Fairy Alert Alarm. You'll then go to the FFF, Fairy File Folder, and break the seal on the SFC, Secret Fairy Code. And after announcing the code word and receiving the correct counter code word, you may then proceed with the routing of all tooth line calls to my secret cave of tooth.
ITI.
What?
Is that it?
Yes.
Well, it's now 12:45. I'd like you to come up from the basement and hold the phone while I go throw up.
All right, who told you where I was?
No one.
Someone had to tell you, and I hereby invoke the power of my official office and demand an answer, Nurse Durkin.
I think it's going again.
Nurse Durkin.
Yep, there it goes.
Nurse Durkin.
Listen again tomorrow for another secret adventure of the Tooth Fairy.
Another exclusive presentation of the Larry Lujack Show.
And now a flagrant violation of the WLS format where it says you never play the same song again in the same hour. Who cares? I love it.
If not for you.